Hey, what's up guys? It's Ramon from Modern. I hope you guys are having a great day. As always, if you're enjoying the content, please like, subscribe, and share the channel. So traveling has always been something that I've actively pursued in my spare time. I've, have excellent memories of, fantastic places that I've traveled to. When I do travel on these places, I always try to bring along a camera to capture memories. I want a camera to make sure that these memories do last for me. And obviously, you can use your phone, but I always love the look of a camera. So I always tend to bring a camera along. So now that vaccines are getting out there and people are getting vaccinated and there might be kind of an ending to the pandemic, I want to give my list of kind of the best travel cameras to choose when you're traveling. So a majority of these picks that I'm going to choose are going to be angled towards them being lightweight and nimble and kind of just easier to carry around in general. Obviously DSLRs, big heavy cameras, those are for other things, but the focus on this will be small, lightweight, travel-friendly cameras. So first on this list is going to be action cameras. These are, the epitome of being lightweight and easy to carry, almost smaller than a compact camera, fit in your pocket. I own the GoPro Hero Black 7, but I like it. It's there are endless amounts of mounts out there to mount to your car, to mount to your, backpack. All types of mounts. It's just so versatile. However, a recent pickup that I've been using a lot has been the 360 cam called the Insta-Go 360 Go X2. And the benefit of these cameras is that they just record everything around you, and then you could go back later and kind of recompose the image. In my opinion, the main weakness of these action cams are that they're just really bad when it comes to low light situations, and even the photos themselves that come from these cameras are not really all that great. Next on this list are my choices for compact cameras. These are a step up from action cameras in that they just give you more flexibility and more control over how the image and the video looks. My picks are the Sony RX100 series and even the Sony ZV-1, which is pretty much the same as the Sony RX series, only that the Sony ZV-1, it has a screen that flips out and it's kind of more built for vlogging, but they use the same batteries. You can kind of, interchange those batteries between the two bodies. And so, they're really great. They're a tad on the expensive side, but they produce excellent quality. I brought the Sony RX100 Mark III when I was traveling in Japan a couple of years ago, and it was kind of the thing that fit in my pocket, and that just made it easier to leave my backpack in my hotel room and just go out and, okay, I have something that I could count on that's reliable and easy to take pictures. If you want to check out a review of the Sony RX100 Mark III, you can tap in the link in the description below. Overall, the benefit about choosing a compact camera such as these is that they're ready to go right out the box. They don't really require a separate lens purchase in order to use the camera with. And it's just, for a lot of people that really aren't really camera enthusiasts, I think these are great choices to choose just because you don't have to worry about too many things when you're using the camera. So next on this list are going to be APS-C or crop frame cameras. These are below full frame cameras, but they do come with an interchangeable lens, and I consider them, they have a slightly bigger sensor than something like a compact camera. My number one choice on this list is going to be the Fuji X-S10. It's small. I had a joy shooting with this camera when I rented it, and it's just so fun to use. It's got image stabilization. It's got 4K at, I think, 30 frames per second. And it felt like such a joy to shoot with. Autofocus might not be at the same level as Canon cameras, but Fuji is slowly getting up there. They're catching up when it comes to autofocus. Next on my list is going to be the Canon EOS M50. It was kind of Canon's foray into the mirrorless world. I did a review on it, so you could check out the link in the description below. Kind of in the same frame as the Fujifilm mirrorless cameras. The EOS M50 is pretty small and pretty compact, only the EOS M50 doesn't really have a whole lot of controls to it, so you're kind of like limited to controlling things from the touchscreen or from the menu setting. Offers really compact lenses. The EF-M mount offers some very, very tiny and very compact and easy to travel with lenses to use when you're traveling about. There are two versions of this camera, the older version, which is the Mark I, and the recent release version, the Mark II. The Mark II pretty much is the same as the Mark I, only the Mark II has the ability to shoot in vertical video, which might be appealing if you're going to use this strictly for something like TikTok or Instagram Reels, but you might find the EOS M50 for slightly cheaper at the Mark I version. And honestly, I would probably recommend the Mark I version if you could find a really good deal on it. So yeah, unless you absolutely need vertical video. So yeah. Next on this list is the Sony a6400. I personally haven't used this camera. I've used other Sony APS-C cameras like the a6000, and I always like the quality of the image that comes from these cameras. The a6400 has the benefit of having a flip out screen where you could view yourself. And I always think a flip out screen is good just because if you're traveling, you might want to get it like a selfie in a nice, like, historic area, and you want to, just be fully compose yourself in the shot instead of just like relying on like, your instincts to get the shot, or, connecting to a mobile app to get a shot. And it's one of those things where you're going to be in this new place, and you want to get the shot right. And I think having a flip out screen just makes it a whole lot easier. So last on this list is going to be my choices for full frame cameras. These are cameras that have slightly bigger sensors than all the other ones on this list, but I've chosen based on how small they are. So my first choice on this list is going to be the EOS RP. I know that this was a camera when it was released, it got a lot of criticism. Similar to the EOS R, it has a limited 4K recording capabilities, like heavily cropped 4K. It's also lacking in-body image stabilization. But one of the reasons I chose this camera as a travel camera is just because it's in a smaller size. It also opens you up to the EOS R platform of lenses, and then you could use an adapter to adapt EF lenses. So you have that nice combination in flexibility when it comes to available lenses if you're going down that route. Alternatively, there's the Sony a7C, which has 4K recording, also implements a flip out screen for you to use. So yeah, and I think the 4K recording is probably going to be a step up than the EOS RP. The only issue I think I would see is the availability of lenses. Although if you're going into the Sony platform, if you could see yourself, sticking around with the Sony platform for a while, I would say, by all means, go for it. I think the important thing to remember is that if you do decide to go with a full frame travel camera, a majority of the lenses are going to be really bulky. So you're going to be traveling with a lot of bulky lenses in addition to a camera body. Even though it might be a smaller camera body, the lenses might dwarf that size of the actual camera. So to wrap up, these are my choices for travel cameras to choose whenever we could actually travel again. Personally, on this list, the one that I'll probably be going with would be the Fujifilm X-S10. It's just, I had like so much fun using that camera, and just the availability of the lenses and how compact they are. I mean, if I was starting over and I wasn't invested in the Canon system, I would probably definitely go with the Fujifilm system. So finally, I'd like to say thank you guys for joining me on today's episode. If you have any personal favorite travel cameras that you like to take on trips that you enjoy using, please leave a comment below. As always, if you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, and share the channel. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.